If you've been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease that's treated by using a biologic or other high-cost medicine, you know exactly how scary it is to start Googling for cost information. Biologics in particular are very high-cost medicines, and the sticker shock can feel like a punch in the gut. But don't worry, I have information that can help. Start by searching the web for information on a copay assistance program for your medication. As you can see, all the major immunosuppressant meds have a copay savings program of some kind. Whether you've been prescribed injections, infusions, or oral medications, if it's a brand name, it has a copay savings program. The terms for most programs are as follows. You need to have commercial or private insurance. This means insurance you pay for as opposed to government insurance. It can come from your employer or it can be purchased on the open market. It doesn't matter. Those all count. You can't have government-backed insurance like Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, or VA insurance. The reason for this is because the government insurance programs have tightly controlled contracted rates with drug manufacturers. The good news is if you're on Medicaid, there's a good chance that an approved medication will be free. Some medications also have benefit limits or time limits, but we'll talk about those in a minute. So, how do you know whether your medication is an approved medication per your insurance? You'll need to look up your insurance plan's formulary. Those are usually available online if you log into your insurance company's website. You'll usually be looking for a document called Formulary or covered medications or even preferred medications. Your formulary document may be arranged alphabetically or by drug class or both. In my case, I found the medications I was looking for under the heading Immunologic Agents. This is the list of my insurance plan's covered meds, but note that these are their preferred covered meds. If the medication your doctor prescribed is not on the list, it may still be covered under certain circumstances. Note also that you may need to try what's referred to as step therapy before a very high-cost medication will be approved. Usually, this means trying and failing inexpensive medications like hydroxychloroquine, sulfasalazine, or methotrexate before your insurance will approve something that costs more. Some companies are willing to skip step therapy if medically justified by your symptoms. All very high-cost medications require prior authorization. Your doctor will be familiar with this process and may even have a team in the office that does nothing but submit prior authorizations. They're the pros here, and in most cases, there's no need for you to get involved. If your doctor thinks a certain medication is medically necessary, they'll submit the paperwork to have it approved. Sometimes it's approved quickly, and other times it will be denied. Try not to freak out when you see the big red denial stamp. There's an appeals process, and your doctor will handle that as well. Now, what are your options if your insurance company refuses to approve the medication? Well, you have a few. Your doctor may feel it's appropriate to look at the formulary and prescribe something that is covered. In some cases, a different medication is just as good an option, at least to start. If you don't do well on this alternative medication, that just gives your doctor more ammunition to push for the one they prescribed for in the first place. Another option is to see whether the manufacturer has a bridge program. Many manufacturers have plans that will cover the medication at low or no cost if you submit proof that the insurance company denied it. Here again, your doctor will be able to help you submit the required paperwork and get approved for a bridge program. Often, these programs will cover your medications for a year or two while they work with your insurance to try and convince them to cover the medication. Which brings me to the next question. What happens if I run out of time on a bridge program? Usually, you'll be eligible to reapply after the bridge program expires. Many patients stay on these programs for multiple years, so don't get ahead of yourself with worry here. So once you're approved for copay assistance, how much will your meds actually cost? Well, that depends on a few factors. Some insurance companies will require that you meet your deductible before your copay assistance is applied. You want to be prepared to pay that deductible amount the first time each year as you fill your medication, if this is the case. You may be eligible to submit the receipts for the deductible amount you paid for your medication to your copay assistance program for reimbursement. But usually, your insurance company will credit the amount your copay assistance covers toward your medication. For example, I take a medication that costs $1,100 a month. When I fill that medication, my insurance processes the claim and says I'm going to owe the entire $1,100, at least the first few times, because my deductible hasn't been met. They will credit that $1,100 towards my deductible. However, the pharmacy will apply my copay assistance, and then I walk out the door with that medication for $9. Many copay assistance programs have dollar caps per year, say maybe $16,000 or $20,000 that they will cover. This can seem scary when you know your medication costs $8,000 a month. But remember, once you've hit your insurance deductible, you'll only be responsible for a percentage of the cost of your medication. This is usually between 10 and 20%. That percentage you're responsible for is the amount that will be covered by your copay card, and counted toward its limit for the rest of the year. So usually that means only one dose needs to be covered at the full cost by the copay card. The rest will only cost like 10% of that original dose price. It's not terribly common to hit your copay card's dollar cap. But if it happens, reach out to your doctor's office. They may be able to help you find a program or solution that will work for you.